Hey there, Honest Gas here, and today's video is a tutorial on how to make a nice even Heady coil. If the camera will focus. And I've done it in silver and copper to show you that it's two different wires there. And that's the secret, right? This is regular Heady coil, except I've added one more wire in the midst. And I've done this kind of by accident because you don't really see a lot of Heady coil tutorials in the first place, let alone ones that do double up the wire. And I'll give you an example here of where it's not doubled up. And so you see these big gaps. It's hardly any even, it's not very even at all. And so let's take a look at how I've done this little pendant here. I'm just going to make another one of these just to make another one of these. So let's grab ourselves the right thickness of wire. Let me see here. I've got some scrap. I'll do one of these. Oops. I'll do one of these. Yeah, that's definitely a different thickness. And, and we'll also have this wire here. Also scrap. So let's grab one of those. Come on. There. Put that back up. So I have that. And I'll also take some of this wire here, which I see is 22. Either 22 or it's close to 22. I've got a label up here with a different wire, the same, looks like the same thickness. So I've got a good amount of wire to go for the copper, but I don't think I'm going to make it that long. So let's just do a little bit. Cut it there. And I'm running low anyway. I need to get more. Alright, so I guess I'll just do the copper ones first. And actually it looks like the copper's thinner than the silver anyway. They do have things that are called coil gizmos, right? And I was looking at them online. And I don't think they really do a whole lot in terms of saving time. Because they're not very big. And you have to adjust them, and you have to work with them a bunch and stuff like that. So I'm thinking that just doing it by hand may be the better option anyway, because you're not going to be able to do a real long one. I mean, this is not very long, but you're not going to be able to do a real long one if you go ahead and do the jig. By all means, go use one. I might use one if I get one, but in the meantime, it's probably best to just do it by hand anyway. That'll be fine. Nice little, put that down there. Silver. Make sure it's still nice and tight. So it takes a bit of concentration, but it really is worth it in the end. The quality that you get versus the time is worth it, because you really want your thing to look nice and tidy. Oops. You really want your pendant or whatever you're working on to look nice and tidy, to measure up to the big leagues. Alright, coming up on the end here. Here we go. So, grab it. shove them together. Oops, careful. And just kind of bunch them up. Maybe probably do it as you go so you don't have to go so far down. But that's nice and tight. Let's grab that. You want to keep these on until the end because that'll give you something to grab onto. Alright, we'll just grab this wire here. And I'm going to tightly wrap it around this thick wire. You can already tell how even that is. You always want to give yourself extra wire because it's going to come down the line. Let me cut that off, excess there. And make sure it's nice and tight. I mean, like, really grab onto it. Really get it on that wire. Oh, I just got stabbed by those wires there. Now, before you go wrapping that on there, hang on, let's trim this. Now I'm going to grab the same thickness of wire. Where'd it go? Oh, it's in my lap. There. It's going to be a nice small one. And now I'm going to start it off there. And we're just going to very tightly, come on, very tightly wrap it between the coil we just made. Nice and tight. Give it hell. And then establish a nice little anchor there. There we go. Alright, so I think we've got it. Let's just kind of clean it up over here. Alright, so then clean it up over here. Since I'm gonna want a back to this, let's just make sure that there's enough wire where both the little cut ends are in the same spot. Now you can see already how tidy that is. Very tidy coil. Certainly a lot tidier than you'd get with only one. Oops, went the wrong way. Dang it. Just tighten it on there as best you can. And then I'm going to hammer this end and hammer that end and turn this into a little pendant. Now, some people actually say you can just take that part, right? Turn it into a bead if you want to. I think that's still possible. But I'm making this one into a pendant. So let me use the magic of editing and skip to the where this is hammered. There, I've flattened the end. That way the coil can't come off. There we go. Now I'm going to take the second to smallest thing there on the ugly side. And roll that into a nice tight loop. This is a bit thick for this little one to work, but I'm gonna make it work. Right, so you don't want it to just be on that one side, so you're gonna take it the other way again. Now it's more like a little question mark. Let's take that. Alright. Let's shove that up to the end there. Still not closed enough, so let's try this again. Come on. Much better. Okay. Now, looks nice and neat. Let's make sure that the ugly parts are in the back. All right, so let's hammer this one, this end here. That'll probably work, hopefully. Okay. I'm going to use this gauge here for the hook. Maybe I made it too short. Little adjusting. Gonna make that nice. Gonna make that gap gone. That's too big of a gap. So let's try and do this approach. Might not have been the best approach, but it still works. So now we've got a little Heady coil pendant ready to go. And so give that a try, guys. I'm telling you, even if it's just one, even if you just want one color, you know, I guess you could make some adjustments as well. Even if you want just one color, just double it up and it'll look real pretty. Alright, take it easy, guys.